Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your Captain Guide and friend, Dalton Rutlinger. Welcome back to Motortown Behind the Wheel. This is probably going to be kind of a shorter episode because I'm not really feeling very well. And the reason this is coming up late is I wasn't really feeling great last night either. But not in like a sickly way. Like, everything was aching. Everything. Every single one of my joints just hurt. Like, I could barely move. So I decided to just not really record last night. So I've kind of run into a bit of a bind with the single player thing. I'm pretty much out of money. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to join one of the online servers. You know what? I'll go for Bugsville because it's actually not a bad server. And I'll see you guys in game. Alright, here we are. The game's going to look a bit more interesting now that we're actually, online. So we have a few options available to us. And I'm thinking what I might actually do is I might actually use one of our semi-trucks. And we can play around with some double trailers or maybe even do some fuel runs or something. We shall have to see. You know what? Yeah, I'll go ahead and drive one of these things. And let's go ahead and get one of our trailers out here. Semi-trailer. I think I'll actually go for this, because it kind of matches the truck. Alright, now if I can get the heck out of here. Alright, let's see here. Where do I want to go? I think what I might actually do is I might head down south to the oil refinery. And we can do some long-haul trucking. Is I think what I'm going to do is once I get enough money again, I'm going to go ahead and buy the garbage truck. That way I can make plenty of money on my single-player game and not really have to worry about it too much. And when somebody's trying to call me as I'm recording, because of course... Give me a second, guys. Apologies for that. What was I doing? I believe I was going down to the oil refinery to actually pick up some oil or something. Yeah. So let's head on down over to... Yeah. That's not what I wanted. I know there's a way to, like, disable chat, so it's not, like, clogging up the screen, but I forget what button it is. You know, my body is still, like, really aching. It's my knees, it's my shoulders. Primarily my knees and shoulders, but also my lower back. And I don't know what the heck's causing it either. I didn't do, like, any kind of serious exercise. I did a bunch of walking Thursday, but that was kind of my job, and I usually do a lot of walking throughout the week, because for those of you who don't know, I work as a garbage man, and I'm the guy on the back of the truck. And Thursday, it's just nothing but a bunch of alleys for the most part, so I just kind of walk behind the truck instead of riding on the step. I wonder if that's what might have caused it. Probably doesn't help that I'm pretty much always alone on the back of the truck. Because no matter what, our department is always one person short. One or two people short, pretty much always. It's pretty much a guaranteed thing nowadays. We either have people gone on vacation, calling in sick, or here lately, we've actually been having a lot of people getting hurt. It's kind of annoying in many ways, but it is what it is, I suppose. I guess at the very bare minimum, I do have a job. An essential job, no less. Although, get keep this in mind, right? I don't just work for, like, a garbage collection company. I work for, like, an actual city, like a government position. And you got a little close there, buddy. I'm going to keep an eye on what this guy does. I don't trust anybody. Okay. And the physics in this game are just so weird. Like, if that bike would have hit me, he would have sent me flying off the bridge, even though I am a freaking semi-truck. But, hey, you know, what else can you do, I guess? But yeah, I work for an actual city for the trash collection. So I'm a municipality. But even if I wasn't that, and I was still working for, you know, an actual company, I would still be labeled as essential. So even with the government shutdown right now, like, I don't have to worry about my job just suddenly disappearing. Although the city is trying to contract us out. They've been trying to for years. It's not going to be something that happens overnight, but I've been there for... God, come February, it'll be 6 years that I've been there. And whenever I first signed on, whenever I was first hired, that was a big thing that was happening. Like, the city was actively trying to contract us out. And every once in a while, you kind of get whispers about them trying to do it again, but... It's all about money. It's all the world cares about anymore is just money. It's honestly kind of tiresome. Like, I saw a comment from someone on a completely different video that just kind of summed it up perfectly. Just greed fatigue is kind of what's going on right now with a lot of people. Just so many people are so sick and tired of people just wanting money nonstop. You know, you gotta work and so those rich people at the very top can get their more expensive and bigger yachts, right? Hell, the city manager that we have here. Keep in mind, I live in a very small town by standards. Like it's got like I think the last time we had a census, it was like 12,000 people, give or take. This guy is living in a freaking mansion. And I really don't know why we need an assistant city manager whenever our town is so small, but politics, I guess. Sure, it's taking us a while to get down here, isn't it? We still have a long way to go. And I hope I'm not breaking any rules by recording on the server. I don't recall seeing any rules about it. It's mostly, you know, just a stereotypical, just, you know, be polite to other players, don't be a problem maker, and all that kind of stuff. I don't recall seeing anything about recording videos on the server. I don't see why they'd be so... I don't see why it'd really be a problem, because, like, it's basically just free advertising. I'm gonna stop here and top up my fuel. I don't really need to, but there's not a lot of fuel stops between here and our destination, so I just want to take advantage of the fact that I'm here. Oh, we have a cop here. Where are you going? You know, actually, I'm curious. I don't think I can, but I've never tried. Can I actually pick up anything from here with a tanker? Like I said, I don't think I can, but I'm gonna try anyway, just to see. Uh, no, okay. I was confused there for a second. It's like, there's no way I can put pallets inside this tanker trailer, but no, I saw that it was marked in red. Now, I'm really starting to worry if maybe I've got maybe a bit of arthritis or something going on. I'm well into my 30s now, so I should probably start being a bit more cautious about this kind of stuff. I know 30s are not, you know, that old, but I am getting to the age now where I need to start being a bit more cautious about that kind of stuff. Thankfully, here in about a month or so, at the very beginning of November, I actually have basically just under 2 weeks of vacation time coming up, so that'll be a nice, good, long rest. The longest rest that I've had for a long time. And once my time restarts in February, I will finally have 3 weeks of vacation that I can take off throughout the entire year. If I use it right. I kind of wish they wouldn't have AI on the server, because it does this kind of nonsense. Okay, I'm just going to let it coast a little bit. Pretty much the unspoken rule for this game, by the way, if you're playing online, is honk at every player that you can. Just kind of a sign of being friendly, I guess. I'm going to slow down for this curve because it is a bit sketch. But if you guys want to see me play online more often, you know, feel free to leave a comment saying that you want to see more gameplay on an online server like this, because I'd be more than happy to play online. It definitely makes the world feel a lot more alive, you know? Okay, I guess it was just part of the world loading in, or maybe it was those shadows spawning in. I saw a bunch of dark spots on the ground, and I started getting flashbacks back to, like, early modded Skyrim playthroughs. Which, by the way, that is an idea that I had, I think it was yesterday, actually. Once I get this current playthrough of Oblivion finished, I might actually either restart with a different character or continue on to Skyrim for another, like, legitimate role-playing series. Because one of my oldest series on the channel, you'd have to go into, like, the old stuff playlist in order to find them, but I did have a role-playing series on Skyrim, and it went on for a long time. Like, it's got numerous videos. But I had the idea of making a character that is related to the hero of Kvatch, aka the character you play as in Oblivion. Steady on there, game. Steady on. Let's not be doing this. I can feel my mouth getting a bit dry, so I might have to get some water whenever we finally get down. I still have 6.5 miles to go. For crying out loud. Kind of funny, because in American Truck Simulator, that's not a far distance at all whatsoever. But in this game, it takes a while to get from point A to point B whenever you're driving 6 miles. And the reason I chose this trailer, by the way, is because it's one of the new trailers. I know it's not as big as the original tanker trailer for semis, but sometimes I kind of feel like that other trailer is a bit much. Okay, we have another person coming up here. I don't know if it's another player or if it's another AI, though. I think it's another player. I definitely need to do a bit more research into... Whoa, Nelly. Right, I might take it a little bit slower on the dirt. Speed limit is 35, so you know what? I'll keep it at a nice, good, quick 32 miles an hour. That should be fine. What the heck just happened? Server's lagging. Car hauling. That's another thing I can do. Oh, man, back keeps popping. Oh, my joints are just so stiff. Maybe I need to go to a chiropractor or something. Like my wrists hurt, my ankles hurt. I hope I'm not getting like another case of carpal tunnel or something. That was not a pleasant experience. Man, it's already almost 7 o'clock. I still need to get Minecraft uploaded. I need to get this thing uploaded as soon as possible. Yeah, I kind of like this. First person driving here. It's actually kind of relaxing. I'm going to turn my brights on so I can actually see the road ahead of me. What's this coming up? Is that a sign or is that another player? It's not another player because it doesn't have a name over it. It might be an AI. This is yeah, it's got to be an AI. It's moving. It's it's a semi-truck without a trailer. Alright. Alright, get back up to speed again. This is a bit windy for my liking. Just trying to check my mirrors every so often. Still good on fuel, so I don't need to stop. I could have easily made it here, but the way I see it, better safe than sorry. Huh, that sucks. Kinda wish there was an engine brake in this game. It's possible that there actually is one, and I just don't know about it. Just set my cruise control at 50. That way I don't really have to worry about it so much. Still making good time, but I'm not going to have to worry about getting pulled over by a cop or something like that. Or losing control of the vehicle. Still have 3 miles. Good lord. It gets pretty desolate down here. There's not a lot of people aside from other truckers that actually come down here. Because really, there's nothing else for anybody else down here, aside from trucks. You might occasionally see a taxi, but that'll be about it. What are those purple glowing things? Maybe they're just patches of flowers. Oh no. We're in a desert. Why are you raining? You're not supposed to be raining in a desert. I know it does rain in a desert on occasion. It's just very rare for it to do so. In fact, I remember back in like 2005 or so, um, me and my dad were going out to Las Vegas, and of all times to be going out there, we went whenever the Mojave Desert was having a massive blizzard. Yeah, yeah. If anybody doesn't know about that, like 2005 or so, Phoenix, Arizona, Nevada, and I believe even parts of New Mexico had a massive blizzard come through. And to this day, I don't think I've ever seen a worse snow. Yeah, kind of lost control of the trailer there for a minute. Alright, we're finally less than a mile away. Jeez. It's only been, 35 minutes almost. For crying out loud. Definitely takes a while to get out here. And that's not counting the time I spent on the phone with my friend, either. What is this? I don't come down here to this part of the map very often, so this is very new to me. Actually, I want to see if I can kind of cheese the system here a bit. I imagine I probably cannot. But I'll give it a try anyway. Because this is not the type of docking area that a tanker would require. But I shall give it a shot regardless. And that requires off-roading. You know what? Hey, why are you not accepting? Wait, what? Never mind then. Maybe it's like fuel cans or something like that. This is the first time I've been here, I think, so I'm not really too familiar with how this place works. Okay. There's a lot of places that actually need fuel, like, really bad. Okay, the slight problem with these construction sites right here is that they're very difficult to get a semi into. This is going to the sunflower farm. That's not too far away. Let's go into the corn farm. Oh my. That's... I definitely want to take something that's got, like, plenty of it. And I guess, honestly, this right here Would not be the worst thing. You carry a grand total of 22. Alright, now we begin the long journey back up to the main island. Tell you what, I'm actually getting kind of hungry. Just under 17 miles to go. Oh boy. This is, Wait, never mind. I thought that 0 was a 6 at first, so... Just under 11 miles to go. Yeah, that's the same truck that we passed a while back. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, steady on, mate. Yeah, I have to keep in mind that I am fully loaded with this trailer. It's not empty anymore. So it does behave differently. And he's catching up. The question is he going to convoy with us, or is he going to go around us? He might actually decide to convoy with us. which would honestly not hurt my feelings that much. Sometimes it's fun being in a convoy. Whoa. I could use autopilot for this, but in some ways I kind of feel like that's cheating. Like, I'm here to be trucking, not just watching the truck drive itself. Whoa. Steady on. The good news is that usually the return journey seems like it doesn't take nearly as long as the journey to get to a destination. That is a random taxi just abandoned in the middle of the road. Whoa, 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 whoa. Steady on, steady on. I remember passing this truck. I remember passing both of these. Hey, buddy. Well, that's how you haul plenty of fuel right there. This thing is still here. There's a random garbage truck out here. I saw that vehicle earlier. I don't know if I really noticed it was a garbage truck, though. 8 miles to a truck driver in real life would be easy money. In this, you're definitely getting your driver's worth. Your driving worth. Nah, you're just an AI. You're not going to honk back. Man, I need to sneeze. I really, really, really need to sneeze, but it refuses to come out. I wonder where he went. No, I'm actually going to look at the map. I'm genuinely curious. Where did my buddy go? Oh, he stopped for fuel. I kind of figured that would be the case, but he has a much more powerful truck than I do, so he'll catch up to us eventually. Unless he has to make a turnoff somewhere else. Which is always possible. Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, one really, really, really awesome thing about this game is that the economy in the game is actually a legitimate thing. Um, this server could get into some serious trouble if people were to start, like, taking cargo from this server and going to another server, because the cargo that you load up into your vehicle actually travels with you from one server to another, even from your single player world. So if people were to actually, like, take cargo from this server and go to another one, you would actually be royally hurting the server in several ways. But if you want to help the server, you can take cargo from your single player game and bring more goods into this server. In that case, it's a win-win, because you're going to get money from doing a job, and the server is going to get resources that it really needs. You know what? I should probably slow down a little bit here. There we go. Keep it at a nice, quick 40. Speed limit's 35, but who doesn't actually drive like 5 miles over the speed limit? Does anybody actually drive the legitimate speed limit, or does everybody, like, actually go a little bit over? Because I will tattle on myself here. I pretty much always drive 5 miles over. Unless I'm unfamiliar with it, or if it's, like, obviously a speed trap town. There are a lot of towns on, especially, like, busy highways, where the cops will just hide somewhere in the distance, or like somewhere behind a building or whatever, and they'll pull you over, and they typically don't give a warning unless you're extremely lucky. Like, I've heard of people that had like no issues with their driving record at all whatsoever, and the cops just gave them a ticket regardless. I will, however, drive the speed limit in construction zones and school zones and stuff like that. But if I'm just going down the road or the highway or whatever, yeah, I'm going 5 miles over. Bare minimum, I'm probably going to be at least keeping up with traffic. That seems kind of dangerous. Just having a rock in the middle of the road. And I like how there's just this one random section of dirt road here. Like, could we just not be bothered to pave the entire thing? Okay, so the truck's going to be struggling up here a little bit. Turn the flashers on. Out of curiosity, how does a truck handle in sports here? It sounds like I'm gonna blow. It sounds like I'm gonna blow up my engine, is what it sounds like. So I'm just gonna go back to comfort. Truck is really struggling through this area. Oh yeah, here he comes. He's catching up. I told you he would. Don't think I need my flashers on anymore. Yep, he's still following us. Ooh, once again, we've got another hill where the game is just kind of struggling. Where the truck is struggling. The game's fine. The truck, on the other hand, not so much. Uh-oh. Yeah, his truck is just a lot more powerful. He's probably got a maxed out engine in that thing, whereas this thing is still pretty much stock. Is there anybody coming? Not that I can tell. Whoa. Okay, steady on there. That turn was a bit sharper than I was expecting. Well, by the looks of things, you guys aren't going to get a video on Friday today, but you will be getting like 2 videos for Saturday, so there is that. Just wish I didn't feel so sickly at the moment. I totally forgot to honk at him, but I don't think he minds. Anybody coming? Nope. Come on, baby, you can do it. You can do it. I have faith in you. You've gotten through worse than this. Looks like the dawn is finally coming. Yeah. This road has a bunch of bumps in it. We're finally back here at this warehouse that I pulled into earlier. This is where I got fuel earlier. Alright, so he's going that way, so this is where our paths part. Dang it! This trailer doesn't want to cooperate. You know, these cab-overs look really cool, these old American cab-overs, but they were nightmares to drive. My grandpa actually used to own one. I remember I'd actually ride with him and another family member in our old cab over that looked pretty much like this, except it was completely white. And I remember I'd actually like ride it on the bed in the back, and I'd go with them to a town up in Kansas where we would actually like take our cattle to, because I lived on a cattle farm. And every time I went with them, we would stop in another small town somewhere. We'd get something to eat. I'd get something from the quick stop, like a little candy bar or something. Maybe like a Highland chocolate milk. And then we'd continue on our way. Childhood memories. Sometimes I wish I could go back to being a kid. Other times I'm like, nah, good riddance to that. But times like that, I really wish I could go back. Just, it was just so much. It was just such a simpler time back then. Cell phones weren't really a thing. The only gaming console I had was my Nintendo 64. The only news I really cared about watching was just the weather. People weren't so obsessed with their politics back then. And at that age, I didn't even know what politics was. I just knew, like, who the president was, and that was pretty much my politics. I think at that point it was, well, at that point it actually might have been Clinton. But throughout the vast majority of my childhood, George W. Bush was the president. Then it was Obama. Then Trump. I'm not really gonna count Biden because I was well into my 20s. But Obama came into power whenever I was still in high school. Actually, no, I wasn't even in high school yet. I was in the 8th grade. Dang it. I'm trying to stop sniffling and I just can't. Thankfully, I don't think this microphone really picks it up too much. Not like my old microphone. So how much further do we actually have? Oh, it's just right over there. This truck is driving with its doors open, which is not great, if I'm going to be honest. Playing online is just such a vibe in this game. You know, logging is another thing I could really start doing. Because, in my or not my first person, my single player game, I definitely need to get some logging trucks going. Start producing lumber. So I think what I might actually do next time I play my single player game is I'll actually take the trucks off of the container route and put one on a logging route and then put another one on a fuel running route. Problem is, I'm out of spaces, and spaces... You have to keep buying spaces for more vehicles, and each time that you buy just one, it goes up $50,000. But the next space that I can buy is going to be 150,000 coins. And over time, that's going to add up, like, really quick. Of course, if I keep doing loads like this, that'll pay for itself pretty quick. You know what? I will take some fuel to the furniture factory. But once I get done with this delivery, I think I will call it a video. It's going on almost an hour and 20 minutes at this point. Little over a mile to go. Kind of ran out of things to talk about. I'm gonna be honest. Maybe I need to start making my videos shorter. That way I don't really run out of things to talk about. But I do want one of these trucks. I like the Volvos. I really do. Freightliner is actually my favorite truck, but I like that aerodynamic look. Instead of just, like, having the wind meet you in the face right here. Are you turning or are you going straight? Answers that question. How ironic would it be if a truck pulling a tanker full of fuel were to break down? Or run out of fuel? What is this? I don't know what that was, but it was something. What are you doing, dude? Is that the Norway or Denmark flag? I want to say it was Norway. Might have been. I don't know. It's been a while since I've actually looked at other countries' flags. The French and Russian flags always confuse the crap out of me because one's horizontal, the other one's vertical. Otherwise, they look pretty much identical. Uh-oh, looks like the cops are after somebody here. What's going on back there? Come on. Baby, you can do it. I know you can do it. I'm just gonna have to run the stop sign. I can't lose the momentum. Uh-oh. Nope. It's stuck. It was going so well, too. Oh. That's as far as I can really go, my guy. Anytime you're ready. Um, oh, okay. Did not really position myself very well here, but I'm sure I can get around this. There just has to be a dolly right there that is capable of stopping a semi-truck. You know, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this the hard way? Just back up straight. I'm in a cab over, which means maneuverability is king for me. So why was I trying to do this all fancy-like? No, I'm not going to do it easy by just pulling straight in. That's cheating. If I'm going to drive a truck, I'm going to do it properly, dang it. All right. Actually, can I take anything? No. It would honestly make sense if I couldn't take anything from here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, leave a comment. If you want to see more content from me, consider subscribing to the channel, because I do plan on having a lot more on the way. So this video should be coming out Saturday, as well as Minecraft. Saturday, October 4th. I'm going to plan for both of them to be released around 7 o'clock in the morning. Videos on Saturdays will be released early because I kind of like the idea of you guys waking up early in the morning, just watching some Saturday cartoons or something while you're watching my video. Not that that's what you're going to do, it's just what I like to imagine is going to happen. Because that's totally what I always do on Saturday mornings, is I just wake up and I watch some cartoons or something. So, yeah. I might also be making some changes to the schedule. I'm not totally sure yet, but I might actually start making a video for each game on a weekly basis instead of doing like multiple videos of the same game throughout a week for each week of the month. We'll have to see how things go with that. If you guys like the current schedule, let me know, or if you'd like to see me change it, also let me know. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for me. So thank you guys so much again for watching. And until next time, guys, God bless. Take care of yourselves. I will see you in the next video. Until then, this is your captain, signing out.